Okay, let me let me do this as calmly and quickly as possible. So, is Asta the most gifted person in Black Clover? No. The reason why is very simple. When somebody is gifted, when somebody is naturally born with something, they have a high disposition or they have a high level of skill for a certain activity. For example, let's say that you're born with such good hand eye coordination, you're an amazing 3-point shooter for basketball. Or let's say you have such good body control naturally that you're able to hit pretty much any type of shot with a golf ball. You know what I'm saying? Like that's being gifted. But you have somebody who is talented through hard work. They are somebody who puts in a large amount of repetition and a large amount of practice into a certain skill set. Now, somebody can be born without natural gifts, but they can work to match the level of somebody with natural gifts. Now, that also can be done in reverse. Somebody who is gifted can work extremely hard so that way they are practically untouchable versus someone who is gifted and then becomes a bit lazy or becomes a bit arrogant and doesn't train, and then they're the ones who gets caught off guard by the hard workers that work to catch up to their level. Asta is born into the world of Black Clover with no magic whatsoever. He's also born without anti magic, which a lot of people are trying to say is the thing that makes him so gifted. No, he was actually able to be chosen by the grimoire because he's the only person suitable to actually go through and have anti magic, but it's not even something that you could say is a gift because of the fact that it alienates him even more from the world. That's why the only person he can really see as a equal and a confidant is Libby, somebody else who doesn't have magic. But since the fact that he's gifted with anti magic, it's a bit of a trade off where Libby's gift of anti magic is matched perfectly with Asta's talent through his hard work. Okay, now let's try and just dig through this kip quickly. All right, so is able to learn a lot of physical skills very quickly. Why is that? Well, because they're physical skills. Anything Asta has is something that he has to train through physical skill. And if it's not, for example, like controlling anti magic, that's something that takes him a long time to learn. So when he has to go through and learn how to use the different sword skills, he learns that in the 6 month time skip for the Heart Kingdom. When it comes to trying to find a way to perfect or at least extend his Devil Union, that comes from being able to practice it over the 18 months that happened in the second time skip of the story, which, by the way, only allowed him to be able to focus it in one point to be denser and stronger in his arm. And also, it's his devil arm that has all the anti magic imbued into it. So it's not even a thing that he can do across his whole body where he can use it for 30 minutes. So if he was gifted, he might have been able to use that for an hour. It's not the case. Okay, so I just think okay, let's actually just tackle this question. People don't respect Black Clover. People don't respect Asta. People don't respect the power system of Black Clover. This is why we have dumbass takes like this. This is why people say, "Well, Sabata doesn't understand his character." No, he understands his character perfectly. Asta has been working since he was about 5 years old. He's been doing physical training since he was about 5 or maybe 10. I can't remember what the actual time frame of that was now. But either way, he put in either 5 or 10 years of constant physical training to be able to be fully prepared to get his magic. Sadly, he doesn't have magic, so he instead was given the anti-magic sword, which, thanks to that 5 or 10 years of physical training, he was actually able to lift. Because if you don't know, the Demon Slayer sword is heavy as shit. It's a big ass sword. It's literally the size of Asta. So yes, he actually has a lot of physical talent due to the fact that he worked hard to gain it. All right. Then with the key thing, like I said, physical is a physical skill. He has to use his senses, which are a physical thing, and to be able to focus and be able to sense things in nature. That's something that he has thanks to his physical capabilities that he worked hard to get. All right. Now let's move on to let's say his black form. Okay. The Witch Queen actually activated his black form. The one thing that he actually didn't do by himself, I guess you could say. She pushed the limiter he was naturally placing on himself due to the fact that his body is finally honed. And that allowed anti-magic to be able to flow through his body like practically uncontrollably, or at least at the highest level of Asta's body is capable of doing. But thanks to the fact that he has such good body control that he worked on, he's actually able to control that form when it's first activated, so that way he can stay conscious and stay in control of himself. That's not gifted. That's hard work. So all in all, and I don't want this to be like a 10-minute video. I just want to say Asta is somebody who is extremely hardworking. So yes, when he says that he has to work hard to keep up with the naturally gifted people that also work hard, that's not a lie. That is just facts. So it's just, you know what? This is the example I'll use. Let's take Luck and Magna, for example. Luck was able to use the runes for the Heart Kingdom instantaneously because he is a gifted mage. Magna, however, was not able to use it instantaneously. He could actually make the runes, but he couldn't like quickly make an array to where he could like be able to do the modern method technique. However, over the 6-month time skip, Magna studied and worked hard to understand magic and the runes to where he was able to write out the spell that created the thing that let him beat Dante. That is the difference between somebody who is gifted and somebody who works hard. And the work hard part is where Asta comes in. Yes, he has anti-magic, but the thing that makes anti-magic useful is because of the fact that he's so hardworking and the fact that he trains so much. That was the point of him fighting Libby. That's why I don't understand people who say Asta is gifted. Like, that's why I don't get people who don't understand the fact that, like, yes, Asta can have doubts because he's constantly jealous of people. He's jealous and he's not happy about the fact that he doesn't have magic. He's an outcast. Why wouldn't he be sad about that? He has anti-magic. Okay, cool. That still makes him a freak of nature. And by the way, it's not his. Asta's a bare bone human being. And the reason why I feel I get upset about this is because of the fact that people talk down on Asta so much, but yet when we get something that perfectly personifies his character, they trash it. Like, what the fuck? How, like, it just makes me mad because of the fact, like, you can't talk down on something and then you get turned around and you look like a fool for trying to, like, critique it when it's really not a critique. It should be a compliment. So, that's pretty much all I got to say about this, like, Asta gifted talk. Like, no, he's not gifted. Yes, he is talented, but he's only talented through the fact that he works so hard. So if you really need to know the difference between somebody who's gifted and somebody who's talented, go look up Kobe Bryant and then go look up Jimmy Butler. That's the perfect, like, real life example I can give. And if you don't know basketball, that's fine. Just look at the two players, listen to their stories, understand where they started and where they grew to. That's all I got to say on this one. It's your boy, Mac. I'll catch y'all in another video. Peace.